Hey guys, my name is Heather Lindsey.
And my name is Cornelius Lindsey.
And I'm so excited that you landed on Life with the Lindseys.
This is so exciting. This gives us an opportunity to share our life with yours.
Yes, we're going to be talking about everything from entrepreneurship to ministry to your purpose to why you are here, family, parenting, relationships, marriage, sex, you name it. We are talking about it.
So thank you so much for joining us today with Life with the Lindseys. Enjoy it.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Life with the
Lindseys. Yay, y'all. So this is the finale.
This is the finale. We've been talking about dating in 2020.
In the last 2 weeks, we've had two separate sets of guests. We had the men and then we had the women. And I'm really excited because guess what? They're all here with us.
We got the fellas in the room, and we also have the ladies. Now, Y'all know in the first episode, the ladies had some very, very strong opinions. In the second episode, the men had some extremely strong opinions. And what better way to do this but to have a proper finale where the men and the women can now talk it out together.
Yes.
Walk it out. Hey, walk it out.
Wait.
You don't know that song. Don't worry about it. It's a Hillsong remix. All right. So
I feel like you're saying everything's a Hillsong and I know all their songs. So I know you're lying.
that's why I said it's a remix. So you know all their songs. It's a remix of what they've done. So they just Hillsong, help me out, please. Okay. but we got everybody here. Okay.
So you have Agatha.
We're gonna go around the room. We're gonna go
What's up?
So for those of who are listening for the first time, give your name and also give your status, if you will.
Okay, Agatha, and I'm single.
Well, I mean, all of y'all are single, but I mean,
Single and divorced. Well, I'm a divorcee that's single.
a divorcee that's single.
Are you dating?
No.
I always find out this kind of way because
I'm not dating. No.
I feel like you don't tell me directly. I have to ask direct questions to get direct answers
I'm not dating.
right now because we're on
Right now.
quarantine.
Yeah, we can't go anywhere.
But if we weren't on quarantine, would you be on a date?
Pass.
Well, there we go.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, come on. What we got?
What up, fam? My name is Brittany, and I'm single. Amen, somebody.
Also, people recommended that when you do speak, say, hey, this is Brittany, this is Zach, this is Charles, this is Agatha, so they could see who is what.
Yeah, because something that Charles, you said last time, this girl sent me a message and was like, you said blah, blah, blah. And I was like, hold up, pimp. That wasn't me. I didn't say that. So just say your name and say you're the one who's saying it. So they'll know.
Just because there's so many people. There's 6 people in the room right now.
Well, can I add that I'm not dating and I'm waiting on Jesus?
Come on.
Are you waiting on, but Jesus?
Hold on. We just doing introductions.
Sorry.
You wanted me to introduce?
Right.
I'm introduced.
And it has already started.
Yes.
All right. Go ahead.
My name is Zach, and I'm courting.
You what?
Courting.
All right.
Courting.
You gonna say your name or no?
Relationship. Yeah, my name is Zach. Huh?
You gonna say your name or no?
No.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. And you've been engaged. You've been engaged.
I've been engaged twice. Yeah.
I love her, by the way. She's sweet.
Thanks.
My name is Charles James, and I am a divorcee. And it's complicated.
So are you dating?
What does that mean?
Are you going out with people and eating and having conversations with the opposite
Dating?
sex?
That's dating?
Yes.
Yes, innocently. I would say
Innocently on wait.
and
Here we
people
go.
and people is just
On your end or innocent? Come close.
no. Listen, I'm very straightforward in
Doesn't matter.
what I do. No, listen, because what we're not gonna do, we're not gonna let the women of God manipulate the whole concept. Because if I told
Leading with okay.
This is Charles
let me
talking.
finish. This
All right,
is
hold
Charles.
on. Okay, we have a pen.
I said what I said.
Whoever has a pen can talk.
Awesome. Charles has the pen.
So let an Enneagram 1 run it.
I need structure.
I have the pen.
Uh-oh.
I'm asking a question.
Go
How
ahead.
do you define dating? What is dating?
Are you asking
yes.
me directly?
This is Heather.
Dating is when you're going out with a person, you go out to eat, to grab lunch, to talk about life.
No.
Hold on, let me finish. I think the danger in this is that your perspective might be just to be friends and be cool, but her perspective is, hold on, don't touch the pen. I'm not finished, bro. Her perspective is she is having all your babies. Song of Solomon says, don't awaken love before it's time, daughters of Jerusalem. But the reason the Bible says that is because daughters are ready to awaken love because they want to be married. They want to have family. They want to have all those things. So although you might have a cool perspective, hers might be different. That's all I'm saying.
This is Charles. This is Charles.
This is Charles.
This is Charles.
This is Charles. There is a difference between I say, hey, we're going out to eat, and I don't give any backstory, and I don't give any information on where I am.
Yeah.
If you assume, because the scriptures also say, he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying to the churches.
Oh my God.
If you're not listening,
the gospel of Jesus.
You don't have the pen. You don't have the pen.
I'm the boss. I got another pen.
And let the record just show my wife just pull out another pen.
Yep. I run.
The next question is, where'd you get the pen from? Okay, go ahead.
But there has to be, intent is very, very important. It can't just be we went out on a date and now because I did not give all of the information, you can assume. But if somebody does not leave room for assumption, then who do we place the blame on?
Brittany's fuming. Hold on.
No, can I just say something from my perspective? Because dating, this is Agatha. Dating for me is not going to lunch. It's called commitment, I feel like.
See,
once we're committed, then I'm dating.
So what you doing at lunch then? Key.
We could be sitting around talking about
this is
social events. We can Instagram.
So Brittany,
How your day been?
okay. So Brittany, give us what is
dating? My name is Brittany, and I have the pen.
Structure.
I don't even know where to begin. But okay, whoo Lord. Listen, saints, listen. Don't be out here and wasting folk time. Here, don't waste your time. Don't waste stay back there, Agatha. You wasting people time. I believe, since you asked me why was I waiting on Jesus, that you make those moves with intention. Y'all out here wasting time. That's what most of dating in 2020 is. It's wasting time. And the reason why people don't wait on Jesus is because they're not willing to confront why they're lonely. So you out here Starbucks, Ken, putting the blame on other folks for stuff you done did. I'm Brittany, I have the pen. I'm getting ready to cut up. But you blaming people for their assumptions based on how you've acted down to the Starbucks. Instead of being willing to confront your issues and seek the Lord and wait for him to make a presentation and for you to be found. Can I get amen from it?
Amen.
Thank you.
But who says that I'm wasting time? That's your presumption. That's not mine.
No, it's not a presumption. Because give me
yes, it is.
If it is, I am Brittany, I have the pen.
For me.
If it is a presumption, then what are you doing? Like, what is your intention? Because you're saying
just hanging out.
For what?
It'll just be like me and you hanging out. It's just the opposite sex. Why does it have to be different just because it's the opposite sex that I'm hanging out?
So you're just hanging out for what purpose?
If I hang out with you, it's
because we're friends.
Okay,
so I have the master pen. So I have a question. I'm
trying to figure out.
So let's just say this, babe.
Yeah.
Say I'm single and you're single.
Okay.
We went to the same church.
Okay.
So say you were walking into church, you saw me sitting at Starbucks with another guy laughing and joking. Would you assume that we were together and would you not pursue me?
If I saw, so we go to the same church. This is Cornelius talking, by the way. Go to the same church. I walk by you and Starbucks.
And I'm laughing.
You're laughing, having
and
a good
I'm
time
just.
My first thought would be, she's probably seeing somebody.
Exactly. I feel like we should stay away from the appearance of evil. And the appearance of it could be that you're just friends. But to everybody else, it looks like y'all are together. Now, I believe the focus as singles should be as on to the Lord. It shouldn't be to go on a bunch of dates with a bunch of people. I think that's a distraction from the purpose of what God wants you to do.
I do. I will say this. I think that, allowing, it's what here is the thin line. Because in one instance, just because I assume that you are on a date does not necessarily mean that you are really on a date.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And that is my assumption that I'm taking on. All I have to do is be mature enough to say, hey, are you on a date? Like, are you dating somebody? Are you seeing somebody? Then if that is the case, you're like, yeah, I'm seeing the guy who you were on the who you were.
But you wouldn't even approach me.
Well, I mean, of course I wouldn't approach you at Starbucks because then I would have the assumption that you're already sitting with somebody. But if I'm interested, I can at least, what?
If that seat is already taken, even by somebody that appears to be a friend, it's going to stop what a future could be to pursue you.
And I definitely understand that. But the issue is that I can't stop my life based upon somebody else's perspective. And that is your perspective. But at the same time, like remember there was a girl who hung out with me. And then, I mean, I'm quite sure that there were probably women who probably saw me hanging out with the girl who probably assumed that me and her were together.
Hold on. Great example. Oh, gosh, did she like you or not?
I mean,
did she like you or not?
Dude, what is like?
No. Hold on, baby. Yes or no? Did she admit to you that she liked you? Yes or no?
I mean, yeah, she did.
But you said no, so she's just waiting around for you to say yes.
No. I mean, but it just.
I should have been an attorney.
No.
This is a master pen that I hold.
Okay. My issue is, so I'm just not supposed to. Yes, this is Agatha. I'm just not supposed to do. I just hang out with my girls. That's what I'm supposed to do.
What's wrong with that?
And there's nothing wrong with it. But what I'm saying is, like you said, an assumption. You think that there's something else when there's not for me. For me personally. I don't think I have to come out with a sign that says, hey, guys, I'm not dating this guy. Here's an arrow right here. I'm not dating this guy right here. I'm just on lunch with him.
May I have the pen?
What does Zach have to say? Zach ain't said nothing. He's been real quiet.
I do believe that ultimately, in order for you to make a decision to be with somebody, you have to have some information, some background information first. So I do see maybe sitting down, having a conversation in a public setting technically could be a good opportunity for you to learn information about that person on whether you want to take the next step or not. But as Charles said, there is a responsibility for you in the initiation of the conversation to say, hey, look, I'm not like, this isn't like a date. I'm really just trying to get to know you. I'm really just trying to set some type of terms of foundations to see, like whether we can be friends, whether we can take this somewhere else. But I don't know anything about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know anything about you. So let's have coffee. Like, let's sit down. Let's get to know each other so that I can see if we could take the next step. Now, if not, then I was upfront with you to let you know, like, this isn't a date. This is like a opportunity to get some information to see if I want to pursue, to see if I want to go to the next level. Yes, I initiated because there was something about you that drew me to you. But at the same time, if you got a whole lot of mess with you and we sat down over coffee and I found out you got a whole lot of mess with you, I'm going to say, nice to meet you, sis. I'll see you at church, but that's just how I look at it.
I think at the heart of this, I don't think that we have two different sides here. I think that it all comes together to equate to one big definition of what dating is.
Yeah.
And I think that there is an information stage and then there's also a commitment stage, and perspective has its way in that stage. And I believe that those people who are listening, I think this is a great place where wisdom comes into part. And wisdom is knowing what to do when you don't know what to do. It's allowing for God to be able to lead you in those situations. And it's in those places where in your heart, if you're sitting down with somebody and you know that your desire is for this person to be that person. I think that's where communication comes in. It's a lot of different layers that goes along with this. And when you know you're playing somebody, like I knew when I was playing somebody, when you know you're playing somebody, that in itself is wrong. However, when you know that you're just seeking to have a good time, I like when Charles mentioned earlier, being able to communicate that this is all that this is there for. But you got to be able to communicate things up front.
So I just want to confess something. When I was single, I would go out with guys.
Oh, Jesus, you did? How many?
Baby, none. Not many, just a couple.
God,
so I would go out with guys. I would go out with guys because I was lonely and I was bored and I was sick of hanging out with my girlfriends, and I wanted some testosterone around me. And if I could keep it real, I wanted their attention. I liked it when you flirted with me. I liked the attention. Yeah. I like the attention. Mm-hmm. And so the Lord really convicted me. And that's when I started going on that man fast, because I realized that I was using other people to fill a void on the inside of me. Like I had to pull back from dating. I had to pull back because I had to be honest with myself. Why am I going on dates trying to get this free meal from this person? I could buy my own meal, but it was the attention I wanted. And I didn't want to face the Lord in that silent place in my apartment. I didn't want to face God, because if I did, I realized I'm lonely. I feel rejected. I feel abandoned. And I'm using these people as idols to fill my voids.
So let me ask you a question. Were the men you went on dates with, were they wrong? Were they wrong? Or I guess the point I'm trying to make here is we're still trying to make this a two-sided coin.
Sure. And
are the men wrong for going on dates with you, or were you wrong because you rightfully so admitted that you had a problem, that your issue was that you wanted attention? So are they wrong for showing you attention, even though their desire was just to kind of go and hang out with you?
So they were obviously pursuing a relationship and pursuing me too. So for me, again, I was using them, right? And
but now my thing is, were those men wrong?
Well, I don't know their true motives of their heart because I don't talk to them.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, that's the whole idea. Talking. Yeah, this is Agatha. The whole word of dating. Like, what's that defined as? Because your definition of dating is different from my definition.
Yeah.
And that has to be fair. Like, you have to.
Hold on. Okay. I believe this. You should not be dating or even thinking about courting unless you want to get married.
That's not fair.
The purpose of dating is marriage. The purpose of courtship is marriage, yes or no?
But what I'm saying is that word dating. What is that defined for you versus defined for me? Because dating for me is commitment. I'm committed to you now, and then now we're dating. But what I'm doing, hanging out, it's just a hangout, a kickback. Versus that it is.
A waste of time.
No, it's not, though. It's not.
So can I have a pen?
No, the pen, I don't even know what a pen is.
I can introduce myself. My name is Brittany, and I have the pen back. All I'm saying is that was a great breakdown.
Oh, we need a break real quick. Let's take a quick break and then Brittany can go. So it's spring break this week and we have been stuck in the house, but I was so happy when I saw our KiwiCo box show up at the door. It is a science and art subscription box for kids, tested by kids, and it's more fun than any other game they can play.
So this time we did the pinball machine.
Oh, I know, it's so
let me
fun.
tell you something. It's like seeking to put it together. As a parent, I learned something. I did. It was teaching me, which is really good because the whole point of this is you really as a parent, you're trying to find something for the kids to do, especially we're in quarantine.
Yes.
You're trying to find something for the kids to do, to put down the phones, to put down the tablets. And it was just great being able to, teach my son about math and science and how these designs, how they all work together, talk about science and momentum, things that he already enjoys and he loves. This hands-on science and art project it's delivered to our door every single month. We absolutely love it. Now, KiwiCo is redefining play with hands-on projects that build confidence, creativity, and critical thinking skills. There's something for every child or, like me, kid at heart at KiwiCo. Get your first month free on select carts at kiwico.com/LWTL. Again, that is KIWICO.com/LWTL. kiwico.com/LWTL. Get yours today.
All right, we're back. All right, Brittany, go ahead.
All I'm saying is that was a great breakdown.
Okay.
Pastor, life with the Lindseys. Amen. But you shouldn't be out here gathering information on everybody like you getting a PhD. You shouldn't be on research projects. Out here just gathering, collecting data. That's not healthy. That's all I'm trying to say. So if you think kicking back and your heart is still able to be guarded, I'm pointing at Agatha, then that's what you do.
Okay, that's what
But everybody can't do that or do it well or be healthy because you done gathered all this information. Now you don't know if you praying for the one you went to Starbucks with.
Come on.
Or the one you went to Dave & Buster's with or the one you done quarantine with. Take the pen.
But hand it back to Agatha. I have a question for Agatha based on what Brittany just said. Agatha, are you? I mean, in those kickbacks, is your purpose information gathering, or is your purpose to have a good time, to have fun, to kick back and to relate?
Partial both.
Oh, okay. Well, then, doggone. Well, then, you talk in that microphone and tell them what you say.
Because, for one, I mean, it's weird, I guess. And like you said, if you're healthy enough to do it, like, I'm not saying everybody go hang out with Tom, Blank, and Harry. You know what I'm saying?
We've already said Dick on the show. So
But what I'm saying is...
All right. Now we just turned into a whole kindergarten show.
But what I'm
saying
is...
And we turn back into adults. In 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Adult. What I'm saying is... And it's not like I'm out here with 500 guys either. And I think that may be another assumption because...
That's a drama.
No, what I'm saying is, but that's what you think when you say, oh, well, why are you hanging out at Starbucks, or why are you hanging out at Dave & Buster's? Or it may just be with the same person.
Yeah. Charles, you've been quiet. I see the pen.
I have a few things. This is Charles. Number one, this is my irritation with this topic is because the foundation of a really healthy, good relationship is friendship. And I believe if we're going to define this whole thing, dating is investigative. Dating is if I'm interested in you and I see something in you that sparks my interest, hey, let's go to lunch. We are not dating.
Thank you.
We went on a date because it's investigative. I might find out something about you in just us getting to know each other where I say, that's going to be the last date that you and I go on. If I find somebody else that I want to continue to investigate, then that's fine. And then if I want to take it to the level of I see this person as being somebody that I'm going to marry, then I want to be committed to you. Yeah. Now we're courting because we're heading towards the direction of marriage. It's still investigative.
I have a question.
Yes.
Second step. Can you investigate more than one woman?
No. When you're in the courting stage, it's just
No, not person. Courting. I'm talking the second step.
Absolutely. In dating, the dating phase?
So you can investigate multiple women.
Let's go in the dating phase.
No, hear me out.
Are
so
we in the dating phase?
We're in the getting information, getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go on a date with, just say, Nicole, example, right? On a Tuesday. If you're getting to know Brooke on a Thursday, you going out with Brooke too.
Yeah.
Okay, I believe the Lord would just make it clear to us.
Here's the thing. That does not make any sense in real life. You don't go to any car dealership and just and buy the first car that you go to.
Yes, I do. Go ahead. Tell them, baby.
Well, whatever.
Tell them.
Most regular people. Regular people don't do that. And here,
she does. I think
I've done it like 3 times.
Listen, but if we go look at houses, we go look at multiple houses to see if that's the perfect one for me. We
Is there a perfect one?
No, nobody's perfect.
Okay.
But what I'm saying, there's somebody perfect for you, I believe, in all your jacked upness. But here's the issue that I have. The issue that I have is that it seems as though if we're fighting against dating, we're fighting against friendship. And we're prioritizing marriage over us being friends. Because if I'm going out with you and I'm investigating, it's investigative. I'm trying to figure out where you are. How do you think? I'm not going to just commit to you without knowing the information that I want to know, especially when I've been through certain things. I've already been married and stuff like that.
What if
now
Nicole
let's qualify
sees you
this.
out with Brooke and she turns up?
That's what it comes back to honesty. If I tell Nicole that you're the only person that I'm dating, then I'm a scumbag. But if I'm a scumbag. I tell Nicole and I tell Brooke and I say, you're not the only person that I am investigating. If I ain't kissing you, if I'm not having sex with you, if I'm not filling your head up with hopes of the future, and I'm telling you, this is where I am in my life, I find you interesting and I want to continue to get to know you, that's healthy.
Because I'm auditioning you.
Yeah. All of us is on audition. If I'm not married to your tail, you auditioning. You are auditioning. And I said what I said. Who want the pen?
I think it goes to Zach.
So this is Zach. And I mean,
I said what I said. All right. Come closer to the microphone.
I think
Well,
So this is that. So this is that. So this attests, but this honestly though, this attests to 2 broken engagements. Because I feel like if I would have took more time to investigate, I probably would have been
multiple
able
women?
to. Well, in the aspect of just them, you know, like if I'm investigating somebody,
shut up.
if I'm investigating somebody, I'm really getting to know them. I'm really getting to understand. Okay, who is this person that I'm about to commit to, But with me being a hopeless romantic, sometimes I don't take the time to really go through the process of getting to know somebody. Now, with the relationship that I'm in now, I was intentional about making sure that I knew enough before committing to her.
Were you going on multiple dates with multiple women?
No, because I wasn't focused on my intentions. Intentions wasn't to. I wasn't really looking for a wife. I was honestly just trying to chill. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough,
then when I got interested, when I saw somebody and I was like, yo, I'm interested. You seem interesting. Then that was when I went into the whole, you know what, let me get to know you. Let's sit down at Starbucks. Let's have a conversation. Let's figure out where we're at in life and let's see if we're going to go anywhere else with this.
I think what's interesting is, this is Heather, in Genesis 2, when Adam woke up and saw his Eve, Eve didn't have to audition for him. Hold on, let me finish. Eve, thank you, Brittany. I got one clap. Hold on. Hold up, swole up. I got the master pen up in here.
Okay, hold on. Because actually I got the master pen. Hold on, real quick. I want to make sure everybody understands something. Y'all are all talking about the same dynamic. You're all talking about the same dynamic. It's just, it's layered.
Yes.
It's layered. So they're talking about investigative, but the main point that they're making, that y'all are making, is the multiplicity. It is the fact that it is more than one at one time. And
that's the issue.
That's where the issue's coming in. All of it is layered. It's all layered. It's just the multiple people. So it's like you go out with, you know, Andrea on Monday and Virginia on Tuesday and Dorothy on Wednesday, and it's trying to be able to do that. So that's the issue that's being had here. On the other side, is just saying, well, yeah, but my thing is that I want to make sure, it's almost like a job interview. Like a good employer, I can be able to
waste my time.
Well, I mean, even with all the employees that you've had, babe, you didn't go with the first one that you had. You went and you did. Now, I'm not saying that's what dating is. What I'm trying to get y'all to see is that y'all are all talking about the same dynamic. You're talking about different layers, but the issue here is the issue of multiplicity. The multiple people at one time.
Exactly.
That we're not making commitment. But they're saying that there's information gathering. It has to be investigative at first, and then I can make commitment. Some people are saying, I will wait on the Lord, and then that's when commitment is made. I think it's pretty much the same thing, because even when you wait on the Lord and you see that person, you still going to gather information before ultimately making a commitment. But the difference is that you're not speaking to multiple people before making a commitment. Brittany, you're about to shout me down and kill me.
But you're going to gather.
This is Brittany.
Can you hear me good? But you're going to gather that information with a clear mind.
Thank you.
That is my issue. Listen, sis, you are not option E on a multiple choice test.
Come on.
I don't want to be your date number 3 for the week. Either you're going to pursue me or you're not. And the thing about it is that people say, oh, well, Eve was the only option. Well, I'm the only option in 2020. I don't care what year it is, whether we in the garden or in a fallen world. Because you have value and you're worth it. And I don't want to take any chance of sacrificing or compromising my worth to become an option because I'm a prize. And if you really believe that, I don't need your date. I'm not lonely. I can sit and talk to you. I sound mad, y'all, but I feel some type of way a little bit because I want the saints to know. Quit it. Quit this foolishness. What's your logic?
Hold up. All I'm saying is, coming from a woman who has been married for a long time and are divorced, I am not going to just be sitting and bored. But what I'm saying is I understand it, and I'm booked too. I'm booked
I was gonna say, sis, I got some work for you if you want.
I am booked, but what I think everybody is trying to say is the fact that I'm wasting my time when I'm just chilling. And that's okay. Well, but that's okay. That's okay.
I've never been married. Perhaps I don't.
Okay, and that's okay.
It is okay.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is, folks out here ain't healthy enough.
Okay, and
to be going on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days.
That's what therapy is for, sweetheart.
You're interviewing people. What you need is help.
But you understand that everybody's view in here is extremely strong. But I think each person's dynamic is going to be somewhat individualistic towards them. And Brittany, I mean, I hear you. I hear the passion in your voice, and that I think your perspective comes from the fact that it comes from much of what you've gone through, and also your journey itself. And I think that is absolutely okay.
Because I played that game, and I've been options.
I played that game.
I don't want to play.
I've been an option too.
And I have cut clean up, taking walks of shame on college campuses. I ain't got the lie cred.
And you know what? I love that because value doesn't beg, and you don't have to be an option. But see but I want you to hear something, Brittany. I want you to hear something what Agatha and Charles have said, and all I'm here to be is just. I'm here to serve like Jesus in between the fight. I'm here the mediator.
You are
the mediator, but
you gotta hear what they're saying. What they're saying is that we're gonna communicate up front. Mm-hmm. If in the communication you hear and somebody says to you, well, I want you to understand I'm still seeing other people, in that communication, you cut it off and you say, well, I'm not an option.
Exactly.
This is it. So you can go out, you can see X, Y, Z, Q, Y, you can go see all of them, but I'm not one of your alphabets. And that's okay. Mm-hmm. That means it takes you out of the running, and now I'll just look at all the other applicants.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but it doesn't diminish your value just because somebody else doesn't see it. And I think we're all talking about the same thing, but I think we're dealing with different layers. We do have questions.
We do.
So I want to take a quick break, and I want to come back to our questions. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. We did an outro.
And all right, we're back. And I do want to say, I appreciate.
Oh, that was Cornelius just talking, but this is.
I appreciate your honesty that you have with the women. You know what I mean? Because I believe you, Charles. I'm talking to Charles. Like, he's very much. If you're straightforward like that with women, and not to be like that, but I'm seeing other people as well. I think back when I was dating back in 12 years before I met you, babe. It's like. Guys weren't honest like that. They just kind of lied and pretended, and you had to kind of find out the truth that you're dating other people. So,
and I want to input this too. Women, be honest too as well, because we both have to have a role and responsibility to play.
Because women cheat too.
On them. Exactly. It's not just all on the men.
They do it a lot.
Women do the same thing. So be honest up front.
Be real nasty
when Boo taking you to get a hamburger at Wendy's, like, look, bruh,
ain't no free
it's just
meals.
a hamburger.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm not taking you to Red Lobster.
And that's what my point is. Like, I want everybody to, from my standard, like, we got to stop trying to put all the whole blame on the men, because we as women.
I had to share that I used
as well.
Yeah, I used men too, but I had to
get dinners and stuff. I bet it wasn't good.
Booty call.
It was food, but you're right, babe, because it wasn't
you. Said it was a booty call?
No, he said foodie.
Oh, foodie call.
Baby.
I thought you said booty call.
First of all, I never did booty calls, baby. I am not that type of person.
I heard booty calls.
You think I would do a booty call?
Pastor Heather, I didn't. I thought I heard what I heard.
Foodie call.
Foodie calls. Foodie calls.
Praise the Lord.
I was too cheap to ever do any foodie calls. I couldn't. I wouldn't buy no. But I did.
You did.
I can get my own food.
Come on, Brittany.
And that's okay, baby. That's okay.
Okay, so I have to ask this question. Why do Christian men have such high expectations when dating in church? They are turned off very easily. I could be speaking from experience.
I guess the men, y'all have to.
Oh, it's me.
Are the expectations, why are they so high in the church?
Well, never mind.
Well, I think it's because, honestly,
you have to be honest.
All right, honestly, I think it's because there is a high expectation for men as well. And so when we see there's a high expectation on us, we're like, okay, but we're not going to lower our standards and thinking that, oh, well, we just got to take whatever comes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like men have now gotten to the point where they're like, you know what? I have a standard as well that needs to be upheld. I am a leader. I have a vision, and you're supposed to be a helper in that vision. And so I want to make sure you meet those standards that I have to make sure that I'm doing what it is that God has called me to do. And so that's just where I'm coming from.
Okay.
And that was Zach talking.
Yeah.
Okay. My thing about that is I feel.
But you gotta let.
Oh, sorry.
No, I want to hear this.
All I'm saying is it takes time to develop into being the woman God's called you to be. I needed to be married to my husband for we've been married now, 10 years. And when we first met, I was super emotional and needy, right? And I cried a lot. And now, like recently, he's like, you're too strong. I need you to be like a little soft, babe, just a little softer. So I feel like, I've developed into a better woman for you. And you've developed into a better woman for me. Or better man for me.
I guess real quick, Charles, this is Zach. I guess the question I didn't have for you is that the foundation of who you were, maybe this is a question for Cornelius, the foundation that you saw in Heather initially, before you were like, all right, this is it. Like she meets what I like my standard or what I'm looking to go or where I'm looking to go. Like she's going to be able to help me in this. Like, did you see that before 12 years came?
Y'all don't want my honest answer when it comes to this.
Tell it.
Y'all don't
Come on.
I think a lot of this. I think folks get in church, and I think that they get so spiritual they get stupid.
Come on.
That's how I think. I feel like it's, people say, well, these men have expectations inside the church. Some of the men have the same expectations outside of it as well. Amen. It's like just because I love Jesus didn't take away what I felt like I wanted in a person. Yeah. It really added to it. It created a mold and a model out of what I wanted. But for the question itself and answering it, no, I'm not supposed to be answering.
Babe, I want to hear what you have to say.
Let me hear what Charles has to. Charles, answer the question, because I'm getting hot.
I think for me, we have to qualify is she having issues with men who are judging her by preferences or by standards? Mm-hmm. Because if a standard is going to be, I don't want somebody who's quarrelsome.
Yeah.
I don't want somebody who runs off at the mouth all the time. Right? I want somebody who is Holy Ghost filled. I want somebody who's modest, or I want somebody who's not, dressed like a Puritan, or I want somebody who, no, for real. Like, I haven't heard that word in a long time. I want somebody who believes in oral sex. Like all of that stuff.
I just threw up in my mouth. Oh my gosh!
Listen,
but that's real.
It's real. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. First, we got to know what is she being judged by? What is she being judged harshly by?
Yeah.
And so it is really kind of hard to answer that question, because the things that she might be judged harshly by might be just things that a man needs to grow up about.
Yeah.
And I think, fair. Honestly, if we're looking at the church in Christ, there's a responsibility for the man that's going to marry you that's going to have to add a little friction to your life and a little heat, because that's the only way you get blemishes out and wrinkles.
Yeah, that's good.
And he said that he's coming to, that he will present unto himself a church without spot or wrinkle.
Yeah.
So I have to be mature enough as a man to bring that woman into my life and recognize that I'm not perfect and she's not perfect. And my responsibility is to love her enough and to love her aggressively enough and passionately enough to where she reaches the place to where she's a fruitful vine. Not getting down on her, because that's the woman you married. If you didn't want a joker with an attitude, you shouldn't have married her. Yeah. Now it's your responsibility to love those things about her until they adjust, until they change.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to add something. It's very. My name is Brittany, and I have the pen. I was just gonna say, I think we have a lot of conversations about preferences and what we expect and what we want from the other person, but sometimes, maybe if you wasn't out all week, you could sit and think about, what do you have? Was that shady? I could have kept that. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say, sometimes you need to think about, what can I give? So we get obsessed with expectations and what the other person has and what they're going to bring to the table. But one of the questions that I ask myself is, what do I bring to the table? And what does that look like? And so it helps us not get in these conversations all about what somebody else got when your stuff ain't right. Because we are imperfect people.
Yeah.
And we could use our singleness as an opportunity to grow and develop and walk in purpose and yada, yada, yada.
All right, so I have a question for the ladies. If a guy has everything you want in a person, but you are not attracted to him, what should you do?
Nothing.
That's Agatha.
This is Agatha. Like they had everything, but you're not. I want to be.
But you're not attracted to him.
But I want to be attracted to him.
So you're passing.
Hard pass. Brittany.
Can I not? What? Can you repeat the question?
If a guy has everything you want in a person, but you are not attracted to him, what should you do?
So, can I answer a question with a question? Because if I wasn't attracted to him, have we been dating and courting, and now I'm just deciding I can't look at you no more?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Rude.
You should have determined that before you started.
Exactly, that's rude. So when he approached you, you should have made a decision if you were willing to invest time into it, and if you were willing to do it, then at that point you're being shallow.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which is why you got to have good boundaries and guard your heart.
Come on. Okay, so to our fellas, if you want to DM a guy you're interested in, but he has a lot of followers, how do you stand out without being forward?
That question.
I gotta hear
clearly
this.
for Charles.
Right.
No. I don't either.
I really don't.
He made it very clear he's in a relationship, but you need to step forward, bro.
Oh, man. Ask the question again.
If you want to DM a guy you're interested in that has a lot of followers, how do you stand out without being forward? That probably seems kind of direct towards you.
You say hi.
Huh?
When you DM the guy, you say hi.
But how do you stand out? Just saying hi?
There are a lot with guys, the way you stand out doesn't really have too much to do with what you say, as much as when he clicks that profile, what does he see?
Well, dang. And your profile.
Charles said that.
And your profile should not be private. I
have to talk about that. If you are going to go into the DM of a guy and say hello, and you are interested in that guy, it is very important for you.
Agreed.
To make your profile public so that he can see you and so that he can investigate. Because he doesn't want to be catfished.
And I think most of the people what they want to do when they have the private pages is their hope is that you are going to you're going to friend them.
They're not, yeah.
And you're gonna. It's almost like, hey, I'm interested in you, but first, before you can see anything about me, you got to knock on my door, and then I have to.
Because then Joker's gonna say such and such followed me.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
So
clout.
I can kind of speak to that because
I mean, yeah, you've been
person
shut up, Cornelius.
wow,
Savage.
but
And y'all
no,
call me shady.
my now
This is
girlfriend.
Zach talking.
My now girlfriend. We started out on Instagram, like initially interacting, I guess you could say, and so. Like, the only thing that really stood out was that she, just maybe commented on a story of mine and I commented on a story of hers. And that's how some interaction started. You know what I mean? And then from that, it's like, okay, bet. Like, let's go out and have Starbucks. Like, let me get to know you better, rather than just Instagram profiles. But I will say this, like, before my now girlfriend, I would get DMs and it would be a turnoff. Like, it's too forward, I feel. You know what I mean? Like, to come in...
Sliding in the DMs, friend?
No, a woman sliding into my DMs saying, hey, I just want to be a friend to you. And no, like, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to set
2020.
But let's be real, though. Eve was presented to Adam, not vice... You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it is. You know what I mean? Like, let the man pursue. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to get noticed, you can go ahead and like some pictures. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, do something.
But
maybe.
that's the same thing. If I'm liking your pictures,
But
then
I'm
I'm trying to say, hey, it's the same thing.
But I think that what I'm trying to say is really forward for you to go into a DM saying, hey, I like you and I want you to be, I want us to start a friendship. I just think, I don't know, for me, it's a turn off. Maybe for other guys, they're like, yes, come in my DM, say, hey, I like you, you look fine, whatever the case may be. Do that. Some people are like that, but not me.
How about sis, get out of folk DMs? Quit that. You sitting up contemplating about, not this sis, I'm not coming for you.
That's Brittany.
This is Brittany, I do not have the pen, I interjected. But I'm just saying, come out of them DMs. Like, you don't, if your thought process is, how do I get this guy to notice me? Then you're all, I personally, as for me and my house, don't think that is the appropriate approach. Because if I got to figure out how to garner your attention from day one, I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying to get your attention. And that's not for me.
Woo, y'all are.
Ain't nobody gave not one scripture on nothing. All these opinions. We slinging all these opinions
What you
around.
got then, Charles? Because you been out all week.
I ain't been out all week.
No.
And that's the picture. That's the picture that we give that you've been out all week. I've been social.
It was a joke. I'm saying, if you got scriptures, come with them.
Listen, what I'm saying is there any woman in the Bible that put herself in a position to be seen by a man? Yes. So don't play these whole games.
Yes.
For
we read the Bible. There are a few people in
for
here
the salvation of Jesus.
Listen,
Jesus.
I'm not twisting
But
nothing.
Ruth wanted no DMs. Come on, somebody.
She laid at the nigga feet.
She laid at the nigga feet. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because Ruth was working. She wasn't trying to be seen.
Listen.
She was working. She was staying
But a
committed
friend set her up and told her, "Go, you better go lay yourself at the man." And it was wise counsel to lay yourself at the man's feet.
And that was
it not?
garnering his attention.
Okay.
Not
To save a generation, though.
Okay, all
For
right.
salvation of Jesus.
But I want. Okay, here I am again. Here I am again to check that this has layers to it. Okay, this still has layers.
Look at you being a pastor.
Come on, Pastor.
And listen, if I don't, nobody else
your
will.
feet. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
This lets me know
Everybody-
where the church is. But honestly, I want you to understand something. It's a lot of layers to this. On one side, we have people who are saying that heck, I'm hot.
You got people saying that it's okay to slide in the DM, sis. It is okay. It's not a law that you do not slide in the DM. It's not a law. Okay,
Hold on.
But here, okay. This is what I want to say. That's what I want to say. The issue is not so much about the DM. The issue is the perspective of why you would want to go into it.
Thank you, Pastor.
And that's what. But see, the perspective does not take away the perspective does not take away from the action. So if you say my perspective is that I feel okay, I feel fine, and my desire is that I do want to get to know this person, then in that, with the perspective and indication, they're gonna choose the action to go in the DM.
Yeah.
However, if there's a problem, this person just wants to get attention, and the goal, as you mentioned, Brittany, which I think was wisely stated, you said if I had to work now to get your attention now, I got to keep working to keep your attention. If the goal, I think the question itself is wrong because she's trying to get his attention. Yeah. What more can I do to get your attention? Because already the question already indicates she feels insignificant and small in comparison to his many followers, which should not matter. Mm-hmm. If the goal is for me to present myself, I'm gonna just say hi. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for the question itself, is wrong. But nevertheless, let's take one last break. Come back. We have a couple questions, and we got to end this because I'm hot, I'm sweating, and I want to stop before World War III breaks out. We'll stop for one break.
Definitely gonna have to have part 2.
We're back, and I like you hot and sweaty, baby.
All right, here we go. We go to Apostle Drake after this.
Right. Okay, so we have a question. What are your guys' thoughts on males and women that like sexual photos on Instagram.
Oh, Jesus.
So if somebody's half naked in bikinis, but liking all these people's photos, and you're in the information stage, is that a problem?
In the information, but is
getting to know that person. I have a crush on them. I'm checking you out. But you're liking, say the guy's liking, let's just say, for example, say J-Lo's half naked or naked. Mm-hmm. And are they liking the photos?
Sis, how you know that? You done went to his page and went to the...
No, because it shows up on people's Explore page and you can click on it or you can scroll and you can see when your friends are... But it's real though. Is that okay if they're liking sexual photos? Is that a red flag?
Brittany talk, because...
Oh, you trying to
don't say.
Okay, it's getting real shady over here.
Come on, let's go.
All I was going to say, Saint, is that it is information. And if that information is in alignment with I got braces, with what you've been waiting on, then go for it. Now, people are not perfect. So if there's if this is an area of growth, an area where they can be honest, an area, something that they're working on, they're actively taking it to the Lord, that may be a thing. But if it's this just their regular life and they think it's normal, hey, if you got it clear with Jesus.
I mean, I didn't have no disagreement with any of what you're saying. I just wanted to see what your perspective of it. But yeah, I get it. I mean,
y'all gonna try to fire me up. No. I mean, but when both show up and I done waited well.
That's well.
Hold on.
It's perfectly fine.
But again, the question, I think the question itself is flawed.
Again,
because the question itself is asking about liking the pictures. Again, that has to deal with the heart of the person who keeps liking the photos.
Yep.
Yeah,
and it's like that's why I actually was it in the whether it's information stage or wherever page. It's like that deals with the heart of the person.
So they struggle with lust, you think?
Well,
but the like doesn't reveal the like doesn't necessarily reveal anything.
Out of the heart flows the issues of life.
But think about this. What about all of the other jokers who ain't liking it, but who's saving them? And you don't know nothing about it. What about all the people who looking at them and they're saying, "Oh my God, be more careful."
But again, Charles, it still comes down to the heart of the matter.
Absolutely,
it's like, but the like becomes an indication. It just becomes an indicator.
I agree.
Because I can see it.
It becomes public at that point.
I can see it. But however, the assumption is that everybody saw the picture. Mm-hmm. J-Lo, everybody saw it. Mm-hmm. Super Bowl, everybody saw it, but men knew. Don't comment about it.
Yeah.
But there are some men who comment about it, some men who liked it, some men who shared it, some men who Snapchatted, some men who did that. So it's like, that's the assumption. I think it goes back to, again, the intentionality of the person's heart.
Okay.
One last question.
I've listened to both podcasts, and the first one where Agatha said she was on a dating site stood out to me. How safe is it being on a dating site as a Christian? Because most dating sites are secular and there are less Christian dating sites and apps. How do you ensure that your interactions with people on those sites are God-led or God-driven?
All dating sites are secular. Just because it has a Christian name don't mean it is Christian.
Dang.
At the end of the day.
Really?
It just is.
But how do you...
I think that's a point where you have to know what discernment is. So when you are interacting with someone and you discern that he just want to hook up, then
are you still on dating sites, current?
I'm like on and off. Right now I'm off because they trash.
Well, dang.
but again, people ask the question all the time: should I be on a dating site? Should I be on a dating site? Do you be on a dating site? Look, how you meet the person, I think is part of the journey.
Yeah.
And you can meet the person and you can have on a whole face mask and gloves walking through the grocery store tomorrow. Or you can meet the person when you're walking your dog in the park. You can meet the person because, I mean, look, you and I, Heather and I, this is Cornelius talking. Heather and I, we started talking through a Facebook chat.
Yeah.
So it's like how we meet each other is part of the journey. And I think
But we met each other at church.
I wasn't trying to talk to you. I wasn't trying to talk to you at church. I mean, I knew of you.
But you were working.
Me, but I wasn't. I was at work. Like, it wasn't one of those things. But my whole thing here is that, again, the question in itself, because the question is about the dating site. How can you protect yourself to make sure? Heck, you got to do that in church.
You got to do that at the grocery store, Walmart, Target, all of them. Like, it doesn't matter where you are. like Pastor said.
I don't understand. I think people use words like secular, church, stuff like that. Yeah. I don't really know what people understand the true definition of them. Like people use the word, like people say, well, that's secular. Heck, a lot of what they call gospel music is secular. It ain't. Don't talk about the gospel. Don't talk about Christ. It's just inspirational music. Yeah, and that in itself is still secular. I mean, a lot of them say, well, you take secular stuff into the church. What we do, a lot of it is secular. It's like, it's worldly. He told we live in the world. We're just not to be of the world. Yeah. So, and whatever you do, you got to be careful and you have to be safe. But nevertheless, this is where we come to our. Brittany has the pen.
Final words. Let's do final words.
Final words.
Oh, good. Okay. I have the pen. This is Brittany and I have the pen. So, final words. All I want to say is that I don't want the saints to walk away and think that I'm perfect and I have the perfect remedy. I have friends that are like, B, get on dating sites, or why won't you do this, or why won't you do that? I have very strong opinions and I choose to follow them. If you want to do something different, Agatha's my friend. She does something different. Yep. And that's all right. But For me, I have chosen to work on my imperfections and how can I grow in this season, and what are the ways for me to guard my heart, and what boundaries and standards do I need to have in place. And so I live strongly by those, and can't nobody, not even my best friend, sway me into getting on a dating site or doing something different, because I don't believe that's where my heart is or where my life is right now.
Amen.
So there's no perfect way to do it. But you need to work on you and have some boundaries and some standards.
Says the therapist.
Amen.
Right.
Good job. Good job.
A man can go.
Hi, everybody. This is Charles. My final words are, men, you need to be extremely honest. And you need to know yourself and where you are in your life. And I think women, I would say, care more about what you want. And don't just, because you want somebody or because you feel like this person may be the one, or your biological clock is ticking, don't just accept anything just because you want to be married. Think about what you want, what you believe, what your convictions are, and hold strong to them. And men, tell the truth.
Agatha?
Final thoughts. It's okay to have a different opinion, guys. It really is. There's no right and wrong in any of this, of what we have. Me and Brittany are very close friends, so
Brittany's shaking her head now.
But it isn't, and you have to respect that. Like, you have to respect that. So that's my final words. Just be like Charles said, be honest, and it's okay if you have a different opinion than your friend. It's fine.
I like that. Zach?
I would say my final words are just to make sure that you know your intentions on, dating. Like, make sure that you're going in the mindset, and make sure that is stated. Like Charles said, make sure you're honest. But ultimately, don't settle. Trust me, don't settle. 2 engagements broken off. Don't settle. Like, make sure that you know, and move forward.
Baby, you want to say something real quick? My Peloton bike and go to bed.
You're riding the bike tonight?
I'm riding the Peloton.
I like watching you sweat and stuff.
That's what they call it. That's what married people call it.
No, we call that sex.
That word.
No, we call that sex. We call that sex.
Come ride that bike, babe.
But I'm gonna ride the Peloton first.
Okay.
And then
final thoughts and words. I just want to thank my guests for such a raw.
Oh, we don't want to talk about that.
Wait. What'd you say?
No, go ahead.
Wait, what'd he say?
No, baby,
Part
baby.
2.
We have part 2 sex. We gotta go.
Okay, I just want to thank my guests for coming and just being so honest. We've gotten so much amazing feedback from people, and they just appreciate that there's a podcast that tells it like it is. And I'm proud of us for not talking about penises for most of this. So maybe we can do a part two.
Oh, wow. Are we doing a part 2?
Why? Let's just do it.
When they got the whole intensity out the way, let's have
Come on, Pastor.
Let's
it all I got.
You know you want.
Let's talk about it. Hey, y'all, we're so grateful that you guys joined us. You guys and gals have joined us for Life with the Lindseys. Don't forget, this is Cornelius on Instagram. My wife is Heather L. Love. We have Jack. Hey, why don't we go through, give name first and also where they can reach you.
This is Agatha Jax, JAKS Manage 1.
This is Brittany at B King Live.
This is Zach at Here Is Zacchaeus.
This is Charles James at _ Charles in Charge, ENCHARGE.
There we go.
So really quick, this is how we're going to start the next one, if it's okay with you, babe. Biblical grounds for divorce and marriage.
Oh, God.
Say it again. Hold on, say it again.
Oh, God.
So, okay, we're going to do part 2 next week, and it's going to start with biblical grounds for divorce and remarriage. What you think, baby? We got a question that just came in.
We're doing this. We're doing.
Let's just do part 2. We'll do part 2. Why not? I think everybody's enjoying it.
All right, so we're going to part 2, guys. So that means you have a whole nother 7 days to prepare your heart for what is. God bless y'all so much. Can't wait to tune in with y'all again next Friday. Bye.